This is a war cry. Celestial love, watch as the moon and the sun collide over northern lights. And Pablo Picasso painting the night across the open water. The roots give birth to the dancing leaves, whispering to each other. Our hearts are breaking as our mother grieves, and she cries, and she cries, and she cries. I only gave you one earth, one sky. You've got to share it. The ground burns, the heavens cry. You must prepare it. Your children's lives are on the line. So raise your voice. It's time for us to unite. This is a war cry. This is a war cry. From the start of creation, she's given all things like sweet salvation. Let's take our wrongs and make it right. Material distractions, blinding our naked hearts from the truth, cause a chain reaction that steals the captive fate of our youth. And she cries, and she cries, and she cries. I only gave you one earth, one sky. You've got to share it. The ground burns, the heavens cry. You must prepare it. Your children's lives are on.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to do the announcements first, and then we have a tracker check-in, and then we have a quick lesson. The announcements are that we have 2 Facebook group pages. One is the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, in parentheses, Antlers and surrounding areas. Also, Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMB, and Sun Center and Database. Those are 2 group pages on Facebook that we put these live streams to. If you can't find it on YouTube, you can find it there. And we also share more information there. We have the Bigfoot documentary we've put out. The PayPal is in the comments or the description. And we talk about some things. And last night we did show clips, a few clips of the documentary, and we may show just a couple also again today. So let's see what else we got. Oh, Falk, Arkansas. We will be in Falk, Arkansas for the 50th anniversary of the Boggy Creek Monster, or the Legend of Boggy Creek film that came out. The festival is in the main street of Falk, Arkansas. I believe you can get there early. I'm not sure if there's a charge for the street, but we will be on the outside of that area. If you're there, come by, say hello. We can talk a little bit. And we also got some friends coming in who's going to meet us there. So it'll be fun there. And that is on June 18th. That's 10 days from now, or 9 days. So if you're in the area, we'll be there also. So we got some important phone calls that we just got a call from one of the people that we'll be speaking with tonight, and we'll let him discuss our welfare shit. But we're gonna give one of our. We didn't get a hold of her last night, but we should be able to get a hold of her tonight. And she has some important information that she needs to share, and also that the lesson tonight is what we talked about, deterring Bigfoots from properties. And this one tonight is called uh, crow hunting. Sorry, I just got a text in. Uh, but we'll get to that one next. It was just 1 second here. It's a grandmother from Alabama who has activity right now.
Hello?
Hey, we got a hold of you.
Yeah,
You been?
sorry about last night. I was down by the river and didn't have no service.
These are things we need to know, and we're so glad you're doing, what a lot of people need to be doing.
Yeah.
So can you catch us up, because we haven't been. Last we heard, there was a drowning victim, and then I believe you was going to another area and you found some more structures.
Yeah, the drowning victim, I had talked to my mom's neighbor, and she sent it was her nephew. She had got them to send him to a different county, to a different corner, and he had puncture wounds and blood loss. So we do know that. I don't know if they're going to try to cover it up or not, but she told me that. So I do know that about him. And then over Memorial Day weekend, somebody drowned in Coleman County, Alabama. I hadn't got any more details on that. They kind of like hushing it up. So, but I got a phone call from some people that live down by the Tombigbee River, about 25 minutes away from me. Some of they have found footprints on the sandbar down there where they live. And so I had told them, because I have small kids, that if it would be okay for me to come down there and talk with them and everything, and tell them, I could look around and stuff. And I found footprints on each side of the trees where they were standing watching the kids play. Like, I guess, like on each side of the tree.
Yeah.
And like turning around the tree or something. I guess I don't know, I can explain that.
Well, they stand kind of like an L formation. One foot is facing this side of the tree, one foot is facing this side of the tree, and it lets them get right up on the tree.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then there was some trees down over the creeks. Like they had pushed some trees down over the creek. I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, we call them bridges. It's what they'll knock a tree over a river or a waterway or a ravine, and when an animal or a person tries to cross it, they're caught in the middle, like the movie Predator.
Okay, well, they sure did that. And I just told them that they needed to cut their brush back. They had garbage sitting out there in the can. They had all kinds of problems.
Oh.
But
good.
Like the grill, like cooking, and then leaving the grill. So, I kind of just told them everything I have learned, and that if they needed help with, anything, I'd be glad to help them. That I would sure appreciate it if they'd help me by spreading the word, because it seems that's where all of them's at, is on that Tombigbee River. And I'm going to go ahead and throw out some names. If you live in Tallahassee Springs, Elam, Vashti, Thomasville, all the way down to Coffeeville, by the Tombigbee River, Nanafly, especially, be careful, because they all around there.
I was talking to a guy today who He's from Alabama, and his name on the show is called Flat Rock. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
No, I don't think so.
But he was, and I asked him, if I could connect him with you. He didn't. I gave him my email just in case, but he doesn't seem to think that there's Bigfoot activity in Alabama.
Oh yes, there is, and they 20-footers. I promise you. I'm not gonna lie about that. I swear on that. My first experience was with a 17-footer and then a 21-footer. I measured that.
Yeah, we like the next person we'll be talking to. He seen a 12-footer, and whenever we said 25-footers and 20-footers,
Yep.
Yeah, and people don't understand. They're like the half of a house, or bigger.
Yes.
Wide.
I seen one the other day. I really thought I really was going crazy. He was over half the size of a pine tree tall.
Yeah.
He had to be 25 foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was just no way for me to measure it. I just could not believe what I was seeing. Yeah,
it's like even the oak trees, almost a big oak tree, they're still like right up there with the oak trees.
Yeah. It's just unbelievable. I mean, you see videos with these little 6 to 8-footers, and then when you see something like that, that just changes your whole life.
It does. It does. Now, I'm glad other people have seen these.
And another thing I had never said, I seen the cover of the DVD. My first experience, the 17-footer, his face looked just like the cover of that DVD. I don't know what's up with that, but there was just no way for me to explain what his face looked like. It looks just like the cover on the DVD.
Yeah, yeah, we've seen these ourselves. And all those are eyewitness paintings and drawings and things and sketches.
Well, they did a great job, because it really looks like that.
Yeah, and they blend in so well when they know they've been doing this for a while.
And the thing is, too, the owl in the tree before he stepped out. That's something. I don't know if I had said that before. That's what kind of made me, pay attention, I guess.
Did you hear an owl, find an owl?
No, it just all happened so fast. I wasn't expecting something 17 foot to step out from behind the tree, so close to me. And it just freaked me out so bad. So I just remember seeing the owl and hearing a laugh, kind of like, the only way I can explain the laugh is something to a hyena. A hyena laugh. I don't know what was up with that. It's just some funny laugh.
And when was this? Yesterday or the day before?
Oh no, this was like September. This was in Bibb County in September of August of last year, I think it was. With before I actually seen them, I had seen fog roll in, and for some reason I could see the orbs with my eyes. I don't have to have a camera. It's like I don't even know how to explain that. It's like I feel something watching me or something to know they're there.
Yep.
I've kind of been like that my whole life. I don't know if it has something to do with me being ambidextrous or what it is, just kind of seen stuff my whole life. But that fog rolling in, that's really creepy too. Just all of a sudden it just comes rolling in on you.
Yeah, we talk about on that DVD about that they can generate heat, which mixed with that cool air is and we were talking about that the other day, about even a football field, on a cold night, you'll see the football players steaming up, but we're talking about big Bigfoots causing heat.
Yeah.
And that fog, comes in. I mean, they can generate that, and that's why they're called. Some of them are called fog and mist and vapor and things like that.
Well, that's sure what it was. Just I have a video on my old phone. When my son gets back, I'll get it and send it to you. I have actually videoed that fog rolling in and all the orbs coming in on me. I have video.
Do you have that video?
I do have that video.
Oh my goodness.
As soon as my son gets home, I'm gonna send it.
Oh wow, we'll definitely have that up for tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, if he gets home in time, I'm gonna send it either way, just whatever time he gets home. But I'm gonna have to pull it off my old phone, but I do have video of that.
Wow, and that's something too, from eyewitness people, and when we talk about it, people are going, "What are you talking about? Fog just rode in. Fog just came at us, to our tent, to our." And and now you got it, and that's basically, with the information on the DVD, we're showing these things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And people will, there's things on DVD, people are like, really? Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing,
Exactly. Thought I was going Looney Tunes.
But they also, whenever they change that temperature, whenever they go translucent, if anybody's using thermals, let them know you have to look for blue, and also look for like dark circles on the ground, because they're compressing the ground, and you'll still get that image like it's an outlined compression ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll also get their outline, but it'll be in a blue form, or it'll be blue.
Okay.
If you ever, especially in like the fog and things like that, when that rolls in, that's when we pull out. And I just have like a little handheld thermal, but it's good enough to let me know if something's too close,
Yeah, I know they was there. I can see them.
Oh.
I don't know how to explain all that to nobody. I can see them with my naked eye. I honestly don't know how to explain how I can see them, but I can.
You just been taught.
I can feel them and see them, so I don't know how to explain it. I wish I could, but
our grandmothers and our mothers, they were all teaching us in their own way about all this.
Yeah.
And then it's just a natural thing. We all have, these abilities. It's just that people don't know how to use them, or what, or the first little thing about looking for certain things.
Yeah.
But there are people who, like, some of the trackers. There's trackers that, like, Tracker E will take pictures, and it's like that's where they were, even though she wouldn't be looking in that area.
Yeah.
And Tracker M, he will look over the terrain just similar to you, and he'll say, "There's some right there."
Yeah, I didn't even know there was other people out there that could do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, myself included. It's a long story, and then actually that story is in that DVD. Whenever you get to that,
okay.
It talks about how my family, the family house, was the only house left after a tornado came through.
Yeah.
The tornado destroyed everything around us except for our house. And
wow.
so all these people perished. So they brought all those people into our home, and we took the furniture out. As the family told me, they took the furniture out and all the people in there, so people could come and collect, their family. And energies stayed in that house. So, and so I was always raised with energies and being able to see things, orbs, shadows, images and stuff.
Yeah, I've been like that too, to see things like that.
Good. And that's why you're part of the tracking team. We all have. It's like, because we know, and there's certain people that we talk to, we're going, that person can see, or that person, has this, or that person has that. We're like, we just got to have these people connected with us.
Yeah.
And that helps everybody because we're able to share the truth with everybody. And you know, we could even get pictures now and video and things like that.
Oh yeah, I can't explain that either. I'm always able to get pictures and videos when nobody else can for some reason. That's weird to me.
Well, well, some people may say that's weird, and to us that sounds normal.
Yeah, you're right.
We're supposed to be able to all do this. You know, those are, you know, abilities or protections, you know, things that we have that we're supposed to be using. We're supposed to, but so many people has not even been told that a Bigfoot is real.
Well, I really do hope folks really start believing it, because I guess I've always kind of believed it because I've seen weird stuff my whole life, but to actually see it, it's a different story.
Yeah, I was wondering if you might be able to take a minute or two. I don't know how much time you have, but if you could kind of take us back to that sighting of the 20-footer, the 19.
The very first sighting?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, it had got, my mom and uncle had got sick, and I had went up there to Bibb County to stay with them, and my daughter came up to stay, and I had walked outside with her to go outside because they went to sleep, trying to let them get some rest and stuff. And I noticed an owl sitting in an oak tree that had a fork in it by the barn. And for some reason, I just had a feeling I was being watched. So I told my daughter, I said, go on back in, because I just had this feeling, you know, something wasn't right. I said, you going back in the house. And so she did. So I started taking pictures. I have those pictures, so I need to send those to you. And so I walked off of her porch, which was kind of like had a handicap, like where you could push the wheelchair up it. So I walked off of it towards the oak tree because it sounded like rocks or something hitting the top of the barn. And next thing I heard this laugh, something like a hyena or something. I don't know why I didn't explain it. And then this big 17-foot Bigfoot hairy, well, the only way I can explain him is his skin was like ours, but his hair was like he had an afro on his head or something. I ain't never seen nothing like it. And he had like a club thing in his hand, it was one of those weapons like you showed on one of the videos before. It was like I don't know, like they grinded down a stick or something. I don't know what it was in his hand.
Yeah.
And he stepped out from behind the oak tree, and the owl was still there the whole time. And his face looked kind of like the DVD. Like, I don't know, just a weird looking face.
Yeah.
I've never seen nothing like it. But the 20 to 21 footer I seen, he had hair all over him and had like gray spots in his hair up by his face. Kind of a light red color, I guess maybe you'd call it. The rest of his hair, he didn't have a weapon in his hand, but the 17-footer, every time I seen him, had like some kind of weapon in his right hand. And I've actually caught him on my right side coming in and like stopping in a certain position and have that weapon up. I don't know if I have those pictures, but I took pictures of him stopped in a position like he was circling me.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a bunch of them were circling me, and I just caught him because I had a spotlight. It's kind of when I got wise to him.
Yeah.
So I turned the spotlight on and caught him red-handed to the right of me. I don't know what was up with that. But I caught him, so.
Yeah, you know, this takes me back to, you know, whenever we kind of first met as far as, you know, started the live streams.
Yeah.
And, you know, we was kind of starting off with our tracker things, and I remember you was, you know, asking questions, and then we talked about Alabama and things like that, and then it was like, and I didn't mean to, and I don't, and I didn't, and I hope you didn't feel like I kind of pushed this to the side, you know?
Oh no, I never felt like that.
Okay, good, because I was like, you know, we got this thing that we gotta go do, and then we gotta go down to Texas and do this, and then but I always remembered your story, and I'm glad we stayed in contact.
Yeah.
And so, hey, can you tell us a little bit about the deterrents and things that you're doing around your home that has worked or has been able to, you know, get you proof for your friends or neighbors?
Yeah, like I'll take and rake up around my windows in my yard every night, excuse me, to set traps, like check for footprints and stuff. I don't ever take the garbage out, but on garbage day, when the truck's missing to run, we don't grill no more on the grill. We cook on the inside. I've just stopped grilling because there's too many big ones. And I'll just see too many of them. We cut the brush back, and any trees that have fell over or anything, got them up. Any crows, any birds come in the yard, we throw rocks at them or shoot them in the rear with a BB gun. I'm now crow free, so
All right.
They're gone. So, but yeah, everything's working. They kind of move southeast of them. I know where they're at because I ride around my community, and anybody who'll listen, I'm telling.
Yeah.
If I see crows in their yard, I'm pulling in the driveway.
Oh, that's so wonderful. You know, people just don't know how fortunate they are to have you.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it. I wish, if I didn't have y'all to learn from, I wouldn't know. I just don't want nobody to get taken by these things.
I see there, and that's why we're doing all this too.
Yeah.
And the title of this live stream tonight is called Crow Hunting.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Well, that's not what we've been doing around here. It's just too many crows.
Yeah, and the other day, we were kind of doing observation as far as letting them, you know, was trying to see where these crows were landing, where they were comfortable with their shadows, and we did that for about 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden one day we just come out and start cutting the trees and the limbs where they were, you know, getting good views, and we knocked all that out, and then we was crow free for a while because of the blood moon, but then they started coming back in, and just the other day, and that's what we was telling people about deterrence, is that you have to get rid of the crows and the ravens, or they're gonna say you're food. There's food here.
Yeah, another thing too, I've noticed my neighbors pour dog food out. Them crows go to that dog food. Don't do that no more. Anybody listening, don't pour your dog food out on the ground for your dogs. Crows automatically. I've noticed that.
Good. Wow. That's everybody needs to pay attention. You know, even if there are no visible signs just right there, which is kind of almost impossible right now, but you know, just to be observant and to learn from all, like you actually, you know, do you have a YouTube channel or anything? Like,
no, I don't.
Because you got, you know, like an active area, and you're able to teach, and the things that you're doing, you're deterring Bigfoots. I mean, they're leaving your areas. I mean, how's the thunder and lightning storms that are supposed to?
Haven't had any more since. We've been good.
Us too.
That's great.
And now, I mean, just like I was gonna say, the other day we snuck out the back door of the house and went around a shed, went around like a small tree, and we was trying to get a shot at the ravens. And they knew when we came out, you know, they watched us and they moved around to where they got behind the shed. So we moved up to the small tree and got to where we could almost get a shot, and they would move just a little bit more, and we would move just a little bit more. And finally, they just all flew off like, you know, let's get out of here. These guys are hunting us.
Yeah.
And they tried coming in today, and we just watched them, and they kept their distance and they left again.
That's good.
But we're telling them, just like you're telling them, we're not food. I don't care who you see here. We're not food.
Yeah. That's another thing. I changed up my grandkids' schedules too. They don't go out the same times they used to. And now all the lights in the house stay off. It's like everybody has to know their little line to go to the bathroom in the dark, and that's work too.
Oh, I'm so happy. I mean, just listening to all this.
It works, believe me.
It works. Everything. And people just wouldn't even believe about thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
Oh,
car alarms works on them too, and rebuking them in the name of Jesus Christ works. That's the best.
Yeah, that is it. That works too. Wow, you're using everything. Oh,
and I tell folks they start doing it, it works.
Yeah, we need more people learning all these techniques. But I guess they could go back a couple of these live streams.
Yeah.
Oh, but I don't know. It's either they get the DVD and try to, I mean, because it has everything all at once, all in one kind of thing, or we still got, it's like 100 and something videos of all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a lot to go back through, but it is important information. It does help people.
Yes, it does.
Oh.
Especially if I hadn't listened the night before about the water spirits, my son would be here. Because I told him that night about it, and the next day is when that incident happened with him on the boat. The very next day.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect timing again, though.
Yes.
And those are the gifts.
Yeah, sure is.
Something happens right before, or something happens just in time.
Yep. I can vouch for that, because I don't think my son really believed me till he seen for himself, because he called me freaked out. And so they just unloaded on it. Him and his friend both unloaded.
But you know what is the best thing about that? He could talk to you.
Yeah, I'm glad of that.
He could tell you, and he knew that Mom knows.
Yep. That's what he told me. He said that, because he's kind of the type that sits back and observes and, don't really want to talk about something. And so I just kind of went to him. Hey, look, you might think your mama's crazy, but listen to me.
Listen to me now.
Yeah. And then I told him, well, I heard, about the water spirits in the river. I said, I know you're going fishing tomorrow. Just watch and be careful and take a gun with you. And he did, so.
That's a wonderful story.
Yep.
That's a family story right there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're doing your job. You're protecting everybody. I can see that.
Yeah, trying to.
Wow.
That's what my son said. I guess Bigfoot's picked a stubborn one, didn't they?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah. And the Bigfoots, they'll move on. But we need everybody, especially like what you're doing. They'll move on to the next one, but your next one, who will know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure of that.
And then they just get pushed out of your whole area, your whole county, and I mean they if people don't listen, these things are coming. They're there.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Just especially by these rivers, I've never seen nothing like it. Like in Bill County, it was the Cahaba River, then the Tom Beebe River, and now they're having incidents at the Alabama River every day. I just heard that earlier. I forgot to mention that. I haven't been over there yet. but I plan to.
Can you kind of give us like an update of just kind of what you heard?
A guy actually shot at one. He said it was a tan color with a little bit of gray in it, and it was about 16 foot. Yesterday, I ain't gonna say his name because I don't know if he wants to be put out there like that, but I've known him.
Okay.
He kind of grew up with my mom and them, and he's the type that I know he's telling the truth because he thought it was a bear or something.
As long as you vouch for him, we know.
Yeah, and he said he thought it was a bear. He thought he was going crazy or something, so he shot it, and it jumped up, and that's when he seen how big it was and jumped over a fence and tore out through the woods.
Yeah.
And then he said it sounded like he heard something graze by his window that night. He didn't see nothing, but it just sounded like something big had grazed by his window.
Yeah.
But it's sure been reports of them over there by sheriffs, game wardens that don't want to come out and say their name I've talked to. Said they have them on game cameras. It's like they don't care that they're being seen anymore.
Yeah, you know, people, it seems like now it's like the law enforcement, whatever, they're going to just leave this up to the people themselves.
Yeah, because I noticed somebody posted it poking fun of it. I ain't going to say the sheriff's department, but one of the county sheriff's departments around here did. Because I made a comment, I was like, go ahead and poke fun at what you don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all will see.
Yeah, they will too. And I mean, with the activity, they're going to see.
Oh yeah.
And they won't be prepared. I hate when people just.
I know, it's like make a mockery out of it. It ain't nothing to be laughing about. That's serious.
Yeah. And then people disappear. People drown.
Yep.
People.
Yep. Especially the 4th of July visiting to come up and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to continue to happen. Those traps are still there. They're still waiting.
Yeah.
And the game that we've seen has become scarce, so
yeah,
people are on the menu. And if they can just get the blood, you know, they'll settle with that too.
Yeah. But yes, I'm gonna probably ride over there in the morning and talk some more with him, and I'll let you know some more about what's going on over there tomorrow at the Alabama River.
Okay.
Because he said it was some other people wanting to talk to me, so I guess they've seen some stuff too.
Good. Tracker M hasn't made it your way yet. I think he's in the area.
Okay.
And
I'll get up with him.
Okay, good. And I can't wait for y'all two to meet.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't know if he's been listening to some of this stuff. I think you may be a little bit more up on it. As far as, well, no, I think he does know about thunder and lightning and all that too.
Okay.
So but yeah, keep us updated, especially with tomorrow, if all possible.
Okay, I sure will.
All right, it's been great talking with you again.
It's been great talking to y'all too. Y'all have a great night.
You too. We'll talk again soon tomorrow.
All right.
All
okay.
right.
All right.
Bye. That was a tracker friend of ours, a grandmother from Alabama, who's, as you heard, a lot of activity happening. I was on, it's called Brunch for Bigfoot with Brunch with Bigfoot Rob, and also Tex, who, you know, we're going to be trying to get an interview with as a eyewitness also, firsthand. But all these things that we're talking about, we need to share with more of these, I guess, podcasts or live stream areas and people that you would know in Alabama. Let people know like the gentleman that we talked with today. His code word or code name was Flat Rock. That's the only way I know him. But I don't think that he thinks there's activity in Alabama. And I think he's with the Creek Nation. I'm with the Choctaw Nation. But there is a lot of activity going on. It's a lot of cover-ups. A lot of boneyards and slaughterhouses are found there. And there's a lot of activity in drownings Memorial Day weekend, and there's going to be more 4th of July weekend. If you're not aware and people don't know these things are out there, if you don't know about the water and cloud spirits, there's like 2 live streams back. I think it's titled Water Spirits. You need to listen to that and share that with people before they go camping and swimming and fishing in these areas. We got another gentleman that we're going to be calling up real fast. Hopefully he's available to talk. He was going to be the second caller that we need to check in with tonight and see how he's doing. We're going to see if we can get him on the line and get a catch up. He's got important information as the first tracker that we contacted. We have another tracker we got to talk to, and then we're going to get into deterring.
Hello.
Hey, I hope it's not too late to call.
No, I just showed up over here at my friend Turtle's house. We used to run the river together down in Colorado.
Oh, wow. Tracking or just fun?
River. Yeah, he did it for a lot of years. I think, how many years you do it, Tom? 13 years. He's a river guy down in the Grand Canyon.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, man, sorry I missed you all's call earlier.
No. You was the second person we was going to call tonight because we had to talk to a grandmother in Alabama. And we just got off the phone with her, and I think we sent you a text message. I'm not sure if it was
It did, yeah. Elizabeth sent her, or either you or her, sent a text with the, she's got a good drawing going. I would draw.
Yeah, you were saying block teeth and
yeah, more block teeth, and then between the nose and the upper lip, a lot
longer out.
Bottom of the nose, the upper lip, yeah.
More like a half snout.
So like if you were to put the distance, so you know how your distance would be like from your nose to your upper lip, about maybe 2 fingers. This would be like maybe 4 fingers.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. If it would be kind of like those that long bearded dog with the glasses, you know, the cartoon brown dog with glasses, got a long. It's it's kind of like the hair from the nose goes all the way over the lip, kind of thing. It's that long.
No. I meant just like just from the physical distance. There was really not the hair.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was just trying to describe it like with hair or something, but but yeah, she understands now. She's like,
hey, the snippets from the video you guys put in last night, that was amazing, because that was, God, looking at that, seeing how most people wouldn't even put 2 and 2 together, that's, man, that funnels like right into a trap. Anyway, it just made me reflect on when we were elk hunting up in Utah, and I knew what was going on in a couple of these different spots where they're there's trees falling over the road. People just keep driving around the fallen tree. And then it's like there's another one. And at one point, there was like 6 trees in this one spot that people would come in and they'd cut and just keep driving through. And in one of the spots, it puts you into, well, one in particular makes you go through this mud hole where it's pretty tough to get out of. It's like a little steep, slick mud hole. And the other one puts you around and driving on the side of this hill that almost makes you, tip your 4-wheel drive over and getting around it.
Yep.
When I said to Chad, David, I said, man, you think this is random? You think this many trees will fall in the same exact freaking spot within a year's time? They didn't say anything. But I don't know. Just at the time, to me, it looked like something where they were, trying to tell people to stay out. But in actuality, it either keep them out or funnel them right into one spot. Because 2 parts in particular, it made it to where you had to go in this one little specific spot, this little pathway. Otherwise, you're not getting through. Period.
Yep. We did a live stream with some of the weapons that we found that the Bigfoots use, and we was also telling people about the drop and pop. I don't know if you heard what we was talking about that. It's where Bigfoots will put rocks or sticks in the road, and one point they'll put one high rock where that tire has to go over, and there'll be a sharp rock on the other side. So whenever you come over, it drops it and it pops it.
Oh yeah, I think I did. I don't think I saw the episode, but I saw some of the what Elizabeth had written about it and the pictures of them.
Oh yeah, that too.
It makes sense.
Yeah, there was some a tracker friend. I mean, there's a couple of tracker friends that we was all involved in some things like that. And there's one guy up far north, the special forces guy, and he also tracks. And he said, yeah, he goes, yeah, they got us like that too before. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Hopefully this summer, if I can get up there, if I got the time to run up there, there's a spot where we were deer hunting, and this is up in central Utah, it's up above Manti. That's where we saw those, there was all kinds of sign. But there was one spot where there was there was 2 rows of bushes, and I know there's no way they grew this way naturally. That there were some type of flower bushes that were normal up there, but these 2 rows, and then each side of the rows were like woven together, where it made, when you looked into it, it made this tunnel, like about 15, 20 feet long, a tunnel that looked like it was just almost like a tent, like a tunnel-shaped dome tent.
Yeah.
And I wished I'd had my camera with me at the time, because I'd looked at it and that was the most bizarre. I want to say it was too perfect to be random,
Yeah. like a funnel spider's
the funnel web spider, or the trapdoor spider.
Yeah.
Like that, only going lengthways, on the ground. So I don't know if it was a trap or if it was whatever it was. There was no way Mother Nature did that on her own.
No, they run game in there.
It was it had to have been pretty small game, because you had to get down on your hands and knees to go through it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And one end was blocked off. One end it made a natural. It had a back wall to it.
Yeah.
So one of the other things was too. I'll shoot you guys some pictures of them tomorrow. Was it? And we found these in Arizona. Just not looking, just happened to stumble across them up on the Mogollon Rim. It's up near east of Pace in Arizona, which is northeast of Phoenix, up in the mountains. and they were just really small areas where the logs were laying next to each other, and they were packed down with pine needles and bark laid over the top, big pieces of pine bark, like big shingles, and then more pine needles laid over the top of them, like something small to nest in. But about the only thing it could hold was something maybe a little bigger than a raccoon. But I know raccoons didn't make these things. They just really strange.
Well, a lot of them, they got tunnels underneath that, and they just reach up and grab a raccoon or something, whatever paws goes in there.
I never thought of that. Huh.
Yeah, we found some like dugouts and things like that, but we found some big ones. But anything that walked over, they could just reach up, and you can see the holes. They could just reach up and grab whatever walks by.
Interesting. Huh. I had taken a buddy of mine up there, and which the on occasion, or not on occasion, I guess it's quite often the if you bring up the topic to somebody who's unfamiliar, it's usually met with ridicule. So, my friend Nick came with us, and I didn't know where he was on the topic, and just so happened, right where we camped, there's a tree break that regrew, and God, it was probably a good 10 feet up. I couldn't reach it, but you could see where it was snapped. It was a very green tree, and then left that way, and then the tree started growing again on its own. And I saw that, and my friend Nick walked over, and he looked at it. He said, "Man, what the heck do you think could have done that?" And so I just led off with, I said, "Well, Nick," I said, "start eliminating what couldn't have done it, and then go from there. Rather than suggesting anything, I think it opened his mind to a lot, because then he started noticing it a lot more in a lot of the other spots that we had, hiking around to. And one of the things, we grew up together, so he knew I always carried a gun anywhere. But when we went to go on this one hike, and I threw my rifle over the shoulder, he goes, "Wickland, usually I don't ask why you about you carrying a gun," but he said, "Why are you carrying a gun so big?" I said, "It's a new gun. I just felt like it." But he was the one that found those little, what I called kind of like nesting boxes. He was real about that. I would have walked right past him and not even seen him.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's something we always have the right person with us.
Right. And that's something I just never, like my friend Tom here, Turtle, we used to talk about it a little bit, and I think he get a giggle out of it, but he's a lot more open-minded now and asking questions, and that's nice, a little more open-minded about things and willing to learn.
Who, Tom, your friend there?
Yeah, my friend Tom.
Whoa, wow, all right. Hey, well, Tom, they're real, Tom.
He's starting to really get he's we've discussed some theories that he's come up with that I think he's right on the right path for sure.
Oh, good.
So
did y'all hear the first part of this podcast or this live stream?
I'm sorry?
Was you able to hear the first part of this live stream tonight?
This I hadn't. I was actually driving down here to Tom. He lives on my property down here in San Leon, right on the bay, and he had just gotten back from Arizona, so I hadn't got a chance to.
Okay.
I did link to last night's quite a bit, and if that's okay, I wanted to interject on that. On the that's the area where we grew up in. It was north of Flagstaff. Tom and myself, right on the edge of the Navajo reservation.
Ah, yeah.
There's a lot of activity out there, and I think I've always from that, the Navajo has been told by them that the Skinwalker is a different entity, that's it's more like a satanic worshiping individual that trying to get into that aspect of the spirit world, and which who knows? I mean, maybe I'm sure in some way they are interconnected.
Well, in the DVD, we talk about the hybrids of the Bigfoot, and it depends on the foods, and also like some of the pictures that we have in there, they're eyewitness drawings, and like if you're looking at the left side of it, you may see like a bear, or maybe a wolf, and on the right side you may see like a deer, you may see like a dog. In the front part you may see a man, you may see just around the eyes, the nose, and the mouth area, you may see just that part right there is different, but the DNA is all compact in one, so you're going to have a different multiple look in each area, I guess you would say. So when they turn their head, you may see the wolf, you may see the bear, you may see the man from the front.
Wow.
And that's what they call shape-shifting, but it's all multiple DNAs on one head.
Wow. Yeah, that where was that picture taken from? That one was that in Texas? Was that a zoo in Texas? Of that looked like that was on the news that I believe Elizabeth posted the link to. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't studied that one. I didn't get to really look at it. I don't think so. Or is that the one that? Oh, okay. That was the legs were wrong. So as far as the dog man, but it looked.
The head on that thing is what really sent me chills.
Yeah, I didn't really get a good look myself. I need to blow it up. But I knew it wasn't a dog man, but I knew it was. To me, it looked more cattish, kind of.
Yeah.
Cat looking. I mean, like a.
The head looked like a coyote, like an oversized coyote head almost. But the way I interpreted it, it looked like it was looking back towards the camera, but you could also interpret it where it's looking straight ahead, going the other way too, which is kind of, I guess, illustrates what you were just mentioning, though, too.
Yeah, I remember seeing that kind of fluffy, like hair coming out the side.
It's a creepy picture.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's that same area where the female was basically raped and eaten alive there.
Was that the home health care worker?
Up in the Dallas area. Yeah. I'm not sure.
North of Dallas area.
Yeah.
So, just the other night, I think it was 2 nights ago, my old boss, Barb, I don't want to put her full name out if she doesn't want it. She's a very non-believer, but I guess 2 nights ago, she lives up in that area, and she's got a very rural horse property, and someone was trying to get in. She said it was some crackhead trying to get into her house, and wiggling away at the front door. And I didn't ask her what the rest was. I think she said the cops came, but I never asked her if they actually arrested somebody. But she said, she sat there in the living room with her gun and a Rottweiler. She said Rottweiler was just like, not excited at all, just sitting there with, I guess waiting for something to come through the door. But I need to get the details on that, because I had mentioned to her that area that she's in, that there's a lot of that activity, and man, that was met with some pretty ridiculous laughter. So I just stopped the conversation right there. But I'll probably give her a call tomorrow and find out what more of the details were with that. If they actually caught an individual, or if it just stopped when the cops showed up. Because if it just stopped when the cops showed up, you know damn well what it was.
Yeah. We have a friend here. Well, a lot of people in this area, they've called the tribal police, they've called the sheriffs, and everything, and they just come out, run their spotlights for big 5-10 minutes, and they leave and say, well, there's no prowlers out here. But everybody with their cameras, their audio, their doorbells now that pick up the night vision, they've caught Bigfoots on their front porch. They
Wow.
And we've tracked in those areas. We found the tracks for them where they're watching their houses and everything. And gave them all those reports, and so they know. But the police and the tribals either won't look for what is there, or don't want to, or
What? Why is it you think the tribal police aren't getting more involved?
they're more here corporate kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not like the old ones, I guess you would say. Who
I know back home we got the Navajo police. There's the tribal police, and I think they're quite a bit more active, proactive with that.
Yeah, they have their own group, the Navajo Rangers or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard of the Navajo Rangers.
Yeah, I like to
Whenever I
meet
head
those
back
guys.
up there, we're going to try to get a hold of Alex and pick his brain about that some more, because he's been really he's been forthcoming about stuff that I've said. As far as he's definitely not I think he knows.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, my friend Tom here, he just got back early this morning and came across the res there from northern Arizona.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think maybe two other people we got to talk to tonight after this. That one of them is from that res, I guess you would say.
We call it res, yeah, the Navajo Nation.
Yeah, it's pretty big, huh?
Yeah, it's big, and it's it is a sovereign nation. They're which they are the biggest as far as landmass, and I think population, the largest of all the reservations in the United States. And then you got the Hopi on the kind of box there on the inside. The Hopi reservation is its own. I don't know how all the politics on that works, but I think there's still a little bad blood there.
Yeah, there always is. Seems like, but Bigfoot's always kind of brings them together as far as what needs to be done.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I'm starting to see more. You know what? I'll try to find the one. There's a podcast where the only guy that I really liked from that ridiculous show. So I think you know what I'm talking about. But Bobo, he's got some contacts there on the Navajo Nation that he spoke with, and got some good info from them on some firsthand accounts and behavior, and how the Navajos and the Apaches feel about them. So I'll try to find that sometime and share it with you guys, and it's something that good listening to get a little bit more perspective on how they all feel about it up in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, we feel like they, if they want to survive, don't come around us.
Yeah.
Don't get in our areas, and they've actually left our areas. Well, I wouldn't say left. They've been staying away from any contact visibility with us so far.
It's getting there, so they're starting to learn their lesson.
Yeah. They've went to the other side of the mountain, basically.
The word's getting out.
It is, and even the techniques, and if you listen to the first part of that podcast with the live stream with the grandmother from Alabama who's using these techniques.
Yeah, I did listen to that.
Yeah, she's doing it too, and Bigfoots are leaving their areas. They're looking for some easy prey, I guess you would say. That's
good. That is good.
And
well, I'm still planning on coming up next weekend.
Yes.
I am gonna come. I'm gonna probably leave Saturday night though, because it's Father's Day on Sunday, and I'm gonna do something with my daughter on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to get up there at least a day or two before the weekend.
Okay.
And I'll keep you posted on my progress.
All right. Yeah. It's one day. It's only on Saturday.
Okay.
9 to 6 p.m.
Okay. Cool.
I guess they want everybody out before nighttime.
I don't blame them.
I know. I would do the same thing. But yeah, that'd be great to see you and get to talk with you. And there'll be some other people there also.
Definitely. I look forward to it, Jerry. Well, hey, on this, I'm gonna jump off here, but hopefully maybe we can have a longer conversation tomorrow night.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to have a longer conversation, just let me know, and I'll fix it to where we have, I'll take care of the other trackers and check-ins, and then if you want to do it tomorrow night, we'll set you up.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. It's time for a good conversation.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Sounds good, Jerry. Take care.
All right, you too, Lee.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye. That was a very good friend of ours who we met through social media for it's been a while. He kind of was viewing us and liked what we were doing and the people we were helping, so he's was able to contact and talk with us, and we got to have some great conversations with our friend. And he interviewed one time before, and we've been keeping up with him and his progress and what's going on in his areas. He's well aware of everything that's going on. So tomorrow night, we're going to have him on and speak about a conversation that you need to listen to. It's very important that you listen to that tomorrow night also. That will be 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So we're going to call our next friend that we need to check in on. Some very important information again for you. And all the information is very important. Let me get back. He was talking about missing people. He also has a report of some trackers, female, who went out yesterday, and I believe these are the pictures that he sent in today. Some of the pictures that we're going to talk about also. And all these areas are active. People are seeing Bigfoots. People are recording, taking videos, footprints, casts, audio, everything that you can think of. Bigfoots are active everywhere. We're going to see if we can give our other tracker friend a call and get an update of these tracks and everything. And then we have one more other friend to contact. And then we'll talk more about the tracks. Hey, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I guess I'm all right. I'm all right. We're not working today.
Oh, pushing the brush line back or the truck?
Yeah, I was still doing some more cut. So
good. Yeah, I think tomorrow we got to do that also. Push it back a little bit more and clear some lines out.
Yeah, I might give it a rest. I've been out in the hot sun too many days in a row.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh what? So those pictures you sent in with the cast.
Yeah.
Is that from the ladies that went out?
Yeah. And if you look at that picture, you see, starting from the far right, the one next to the far right, that's possible. That's a human foot because it's like 9.5 inches long, which is, well, I'd say it's probably about the size of my foot. I wear like a 12.5 or 13 shoes, so it's about the size of my foot. But then the one at the far right, when you look at it, you look at the toes of it. How there's like one toe in the middle that sticks way out, and then the other toes in, or shorter, And then there's of course the one big one on the left, and then the one next to it, only has 4 toes. So them, them's a lot bigger than the largest human foot there. So there's not human feet. So unless somebody got some awful weird feet, that's not human feet.
Yeah. So did they give you a story or?
Well, they were casting them tracks. They were finding them tracks down on those sandbars on the river, and they found very large cat tracks, and said they smelled something that smelled like cat pee. I said, well, that could have been like a female cougar, marking her territory. Possible it could be. And they kept smelling other stuff, that stink, rotten smell like a skunk.
Yeah.
And so, they get this feeling like there's something watching them while they were there casting these footprints.
Yeah.
And then, when they done the casting of the footprints, and after that, they said, well, we're just going to leave,
Yeah, that was enough, huh?
Yeah, they left the area after that. So
those are some pretty good footprints.
Yeah.
Did they just happen to walk up on them? Do you know, or if they were tracking?
They were just walking along the river, walking on the sandbars while the river is down, and walking on the sandbars. And this is in a place that, people go there, but not very often, and especially people don't really go walk on those sandbars barefooted, there's all kind of stuff in sand,
Yeah.
And, most people are wearing some kind of shoe, and but some people do go barefooted, so that's why I said that one possible one could be a human footprint, and the rest of them isn't.
Yeah, I can see that. And one of the first ways we always look at tracks is, especially with the human one, is that pinky toe, see if it's pushed in because of the shoes.
Yeah.
Then we look for the claw marks, the punctures and the holes in front and things.
Yeah. They're just the toes, the feet are too big, and the toes isn't proportioned right, like a human foot is.
Yeah.
So, it's just,
are they like an organization, or are they just?
No, just like some of the ladies in our group, they kind of like to go off on their own sometimes. They'll go off during the week when there's nobody else around. They just like to go do their thing sometimes.
Good. And I hope they're all safe while doing everything.
Yeah, they pretty much stay to this one little area. They always like to look at and get signed. They've always had a lot of good luck getting signed in there. Matter of fact, I don't remember if it was it last year. I sent you the picture of the very large track.
Yeah.
And that was one of the ladies that got that in the same area.
Oh, wow.
And she's even, they like I said, they go out during the week when there's nobody else around, and they get a lot of chance to look before, there's been any kind of human traffic or people riding ATVs or whatever to cover up any sign. And they've gotten some footprints and sign that they've seen in the ditches along the main roads and all,
Yeah. Wow. Well, as long as they're staying safe and in and out, huh?
Yeah. They always just make a little trip and hurry up and get out of there, They don't stay too long. And they're always armed, of course, too. But
good. I like hearing that.
I know I wouldn't want to run into a bunch of other women with guns. So I wouldn't mess with them.
I thought you was gonna say Bigfoot.
Yeah. He does come after him. He don't know what he's in for, huh?
Yeah. Everybody just start shooting.
Yeah.
That'd be something. Hey, and if you can, tomorrow night there's we're gonna have a gentleman on tomorrow, and he's gonna talk about his firsthand experience.
Okay.
It's something everyone should listen to because it's a detailed. I've heard it before, but we're gonna ask him a little bit more details, and
Yeah.
he's got a good story to tell for people to learn from.
Yeah.
And
I'll try to listen in tomorrow. Tomorrow evening and Saturday, I'll probably be at a powwow. So.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if I sent you that flyer or not on that, but this is the Cashadas having a powwow. This is they kind of didn't have one for a couple of years because of COVID and everything. So I kind of want to get back out, try to get back out and help them out and support them, since they're coming back doing powwows and all now,
yeah, that's this weekend, huh?
Right. No, they're just going to do it Friday and Saturday. I kind of find that, that to be off dates, off days, it should be Saturday and Sunday, but for some reason I just chose to do, like Friday night and Saturday, and then so I think they're going to probably have, they'll probably have a lot of the dancing and stuff will probably be on the inside, so.
Yeah, good. I hope everybody stays inside.
Out on them, I guess.
Yeah.
In the heat.
I hope everybody stays inside.
Yeah.
That area that you're talking about, that's a lot of activity in that area too.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of activity.
Yeah. No, there's missing people in that area also.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
all around the lakes, the lakes and the major rivers.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of important information that needs to be shared, and there's some people coming forward now.
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah. So just people understand these things are real, they're dangerous. Don't be feeding them,
Yeah. Kind of like gators and other animals, you start feeding them and then they start hanging around.
Yeah. Yeah, then they want everything to eat.
Yeah.
Including the friend who's good, tastes good, friend good. That's the way it goes, though. You become a friend good, friend tastes good too.
Invited for dinner and you become dinner, huh?
Yeah, I'd like to have you for dinner. Literally. But yeah, tomorrow night's gonna be a great night too. And let's see, we got one more person we gotta talk to tonight and check in with. And if you didn't hear the first part, also listen to actually everybody who talked tonight, listen, everyone has some kind of information that we all need to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of missed the first part of it, so.
Hey, and if we could ever talk to those ladies too sometime, that would be great too to see what.
If I could ever get them to, tell about some of their experiences,
Yeah, yeah. Because there's more activity in that area than people are really saying.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of like keep it to themselves because you know how people are. They say you're crazy or whatever, And,
well,
one of the guys, that I told you about before that was deer hunting, and he actually had two of them that was circling him, while he was deer hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of big interviewers lately has been talking with him a lot. He's been coming out and telling a lot more now.
Yeah, it'd be great to talk with him too if he wants to talk, because a lot of people want, whys and how come him and what happened and.
Yeah.
But I guess those would be people that you would you'd know. I mean, I wouldn't know who these people are. But anytime though.
Yeah, I talk to people. I try to get them to, try to go on the show and talk. So.
Yeah. And any more on the drowning victim? Has anything?
No, they've completely just quit talking about it, so they're not releasing any information. So.
The 4th of July weekend's coming up.
Yep,
the solstice too is coming up. Though.
Yeah.
That's a high active time of missing people. We got to be, especially females.
Well, I didn't look that up either. I was going to look that up, see what day it was, But
I mean, it'll be on June 21st, but it'll be like the 20th through the 23rd. That time.
That's the high point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always used to think it's funny because that's the longest day of the year at that time, but it's only like about 2 seconds longer than any other day of the year.
Yeah.
But technically, it's still the longest day of the year, but it makes it sound like it's the longest day of the year, but it's only like 2 seconds longer than the rest of the day. So,
like you got all that daylight, they don't get dark.
Yeah. So like 2 more seconds.
Yeah, it ain't much longer. It's not. It's not enough longer that it's even worth talking about. But
yeah. But that is a high active time for Bigfoots and missing women. So
yeah. But, all right, then. Look, I'll try to listen in tomorrow. If I get back in time. So.
Okay, and if I'll give you a call, but if I don't get through, it's because I know that you're out and about.
Yeah, I may be busy with the powwow, so.
Well, let them know about Bigfoot around there.
All right, then.
All right, we'll
talk to you later, then.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye. That was another friend of ours out of Louisiana. He is a well-experienced tracker, one of the best trackers that we've ever tracked with. All the people that we talked to that has some very important information, and they will be given more nightly. We're gonna talk to one more person and see about the activity in their area. This is also the Louisiana area. Here in Oklahoma, we have major activity also, except we use our deterrents, and we don't have the Bigfoot population in our area. They've dispersed to other areas. Our deterrents work. As if you were listening earlier to the first guest, the deterrents work. Every one of them that we've helped with. If you haven't been keeping up, then you will not understand. But you can get the Bigfoot documentary here online through PayPal, through the comments or the description box. They will link you to the PayPal. If you get that DVD and study it, because it is educational, it's not entertainment. We didn't waste 1 second with entertainment. It's all educational. You'll learn all these deterrents. You'll know what to look for, and you'll know how to protect your family. So we're gonna call our other friend who's also in the same area, who is also having major activity. They may be working tonight, but we're still going to try. If all works out, they will give us an update on activity in their area or what they're doing.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
Okay, our friend Didn't answer on that one. Give me just a second. So, since we have just a few moments, I want to talk about some deterrents. And if you did listen earlier, you will know that one of our trackers in Alabama is using the deterrents and has pushed Bigfoots back and out of their areas. They do realize that Bigfoot still travel through there, but these Bigfoots are starting to go around them. Uh, of course, there are other neighbors and counties and places where these Bigfoots will venture to because they cannot get close to our friends. And those deterrents are working here as well. They work everywhere if you use them and if you listen to the techniques that we share. Um, I'm going to check the comments in just a second. See, there's Judy Wheeler. She says, "Hello, Jerry. Good to meet you." Subbed and hey, great. Subbed and watching your videos. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You're welcome, Judy Wheeler. And she says, yes, Flat Rock. And Bigfoot and Anon says, sup, y'all. And he also says, hey, Judy. We usually don't have a lot of comments. This is a teaching channel and information, but it is great, hearing from friends and people keeping up. Like Judy was talking about, I was talking with I don't know if it's male or female, but their code was Flat Rock, and they were talking about Alabama and how it's clear. And so we started with the grandmother in Alabama who shared all the locations that is high activity, all the cover-ups and things that are happening in the Alabama area. But it's happening everywhere. Mississippi, Oklahoma, every place that we've tracked, Colorado, Texas, Arkansas, we found them in every area, and they are around homes and cities. So while the deterrence, as you heard from the grandmother in the beginning, don't leave cat food out. Don't leave any kind of food outside your home. Anything outside your home, if you've got any kind of food, dog food, scraps, garbage, or anything like that, you're inviting predators. They will come to your house. They will look through your garbage. They will eat your cat and dog foods, and they will eat your cat and dogs. They will eat your pets. Do not give a predator an opportunity to you. Do not give a predator any opportunity to you. Some of the other deterrences, like we were talking about tonight, is called crow hunting. Crows, owls, and ravens work with the Bigfoots. That's why during the full moons and the blood moons, eclipses, when the Bigfoots, these certain groups hunt during this time, that day you're not going to have ravens, you're not going to have crows in the air. And that next night you may hear, or that next day you may hear ravens in the distance, but they're getting the feast too. So they're in a location wherever you find those crows that very next day after a full moon or a blood moon, that's a killing field. That's where you're going to find carnage. That's where you're going to find ravens. But owls are all going to be eaten together. And that happens every full moon, blood moon, and eclipse. We talked about beeping your horn. Whenever you hear thunder, whenever you feel it tremor, when you ever hear the sound of lightning or a pop or a lightning crackle hit your car alarm. Change it up 1, 2, or hit it 3 times, hit it 1 time. Change it up. And you'll notice that those sounds will go away from you. There are hunting groups called Thunder. There's another hunting group called Lightning, another hunting group called Rain, water spirits, cloud spirits. And if you listen to the first part, we did mention and talk about the water and cloud spirits. You can also go back a couple of live streams where we did, I believe it is labeled water spirits, where we talk about that, where they hunt around the fishing and swimming areas. They'll turn boats over, capsize. You'll have drowning victims, but you'll have missing blood in the victims of a Bigfoot or a hybrid, because they will hold people down, drink that blood. People consider it a drowning because they don't do the autopsies, which some people have, and found out that blood has or is missing. Now with the crows and the ravens, they do work with the Bigfoots as the owls do. So do wolves, not coyotes. They eat coyotes. Coyotes are opportunists also, so they don't want to compete with this. They want to rule the food chain. So the ravens or the crows, you have to get them out of your area too. A raven will perch, or an owl will perch on you. They will, get into a tree. They're going to watch you. They're going to call. That call is to let Bigfoots know there is food here. This food is too big for me to take down, but for a Bigfoot, there's food over here. Birds, they get to eat too. They get fed by these things because they do hunt for them. They do spot food for them. You can also use those ravens to know the locations of Bigfoots, which directions Bigfoots are going, and if Bigfoots are in your area, those ravens will be there. If a raven or an owl perches on you, use your eyes and watch that raven, watch that crow. If you do that, they'll leave, but watch it until it's completely out of sight, or it'll turn around and come back. If there's a flock of crows flying around you, over top of you, pick one crow out and watch that one crow and don't take your eye off of it, and the whole group will leave. But watch that one until it's completely out of sight, or it'll turn around and come back, and they all will. Same thing with the owl. But if they get in your yard, perch on your trees, and they won't leave, even if you're staring at them, that's when you throw rocks at them. You shoot them with BB guns in the back end so they fly away and die. Or you use a shotgun with birdshot and just get rid of them. Crows and ravens will know if you are hunting them. They will call. But if you go from tree to tree and try to shoot these ravens like you're hunting them, they will leave your area. They don't want to be hunted. They want to hunt you. Change it around on them. Also, like we talked about yesterday, to call your child now out in the open where there's a forest line or forest area, raise your hands up and turn sideways. You can do this if you want to call your children. Raise your hands up, turn sideways to call your children, and teach your children to come running, but only to you when this is done. This is going to teach any Bigfoots who are watching you to raise their arms up and turn sideways. That is the shot that you want. You want to be shooting underneath the underarms and inward into the eye, upward into the buttocks or the groin area. They're only vulnerable shots. Like a friend will tell you, there are other angles, but these are your clear, easy angles to do that. And if you can teach that Bigfoot who's watching you and your children to raise its arms, to call your child, you're going to have a perfect shot to take it out in one shot. You want to get these shots and taking them down and out quickly. Don't ever hesitate. You hesitate, it will be back, and then we'll use a different technique. We had a discussion just a few minutes ago over a clip I want to show you, because we did discuss that. And this clip is actually talking about how we were being led into a trap. This is also in the Bigfoot documentary. This is just a short clip of that. I'm going to show it again. But we were being led into a trap, and we recognized it, but we did record that for you here.
Or near.
Let's check that out.
Predators have specific vocal calls or jobs per troop. A single bird chirp is to signify prey is here and location. Hear a bird, find a bird. When predator Bigfoots take people for food, there are other predator Bigfoot that are sentries or watchers in every troop. There are different types of sentries. The sentries inform the troop if all is clear to take and to release. The sentries, for the ones who took a person, wait for other people to run into the forest. The predators wait for search and rescue teams. Each person who enters the forest is picked by a predator to watch or eat. Trackers will match up to the size of the Bigfoot. If the predator found doesn't match the print, trackers return to the first print. We never leave our memory to another, nor let another make a decision for us. Leaving us fresh 21-inch tracks, we pick up its trail and know the predators have separated us from hikers and hunters to being trackers. The animal trail is well worn. We are now at the High Line crossing. Predator Bigfoot set traps by having people follow into the forest, using visual, scent, sound, and tracks. As we arrive at the trap set for us, we evaluate our surroundings. The ravine trap is visible. Small predator tracks lead into the ravine and shadows. Across and above the trap, under the adjacent underbrush, predator is visible and waiting for us to follow the tracks and voluntarily enter into the trap. Scanning the baseline of the adjacent woodline, we find another predator visible. We document the tracks and location. We now begin to track back to the known water source.
I'm going to show these last two clips as we showed them also last night. In case you missed that, these are clips from the documentary film, the Bigfoot Documentary, Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers, and surrounding areas. That documentary you can get through PayPal here. The descriptions, and these are just some short clips of what I took with the phone. I'm going to show you these last two clips, and then we will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone, with special guests that you need to listen to. Be just a second.
Strangling, breaking necks, biting, crushing, and decapitation, as well as drowning and suffocation. Razor-sharp claws or teeth to rip prey apart. Tracker E takes the lead tracker position. As Tracker E observes the ambush place, I stand guard, awaiting Tracker E's report.
I found tracks and the ambush spot in the exact location under the bridge. I waited for my support, then observed for sound or movement. From the entrance, I could see the bridge, signs of struggle, and anything moving in the area. The cave was intentionally and strategically dug out and hidden. It was roughly L-shaped, approximately 12 feet deep on the stem end, and approximately 5 to 6 feet wide from top to bottom and side to side. I entered the cave and could almost stand upright. I'm 5'8" tall. I could see the shafts of light above shining through the holes I mentioned earlier. They lit up the longer section to the right or north so that I could see the sloping ceiling of the section being dug out in the back. The entire area looked well used with little debris. Looking upward, I could see reinforcing wood intertwined. My feelings informed me it was time to back out. My support was at low ready, so I exited. The way I had entered was too steep and covered in mud and not returnable, so I made my way down to the creek bed through a narrow runoff channel that was rib-high on the sides and full of roots, debris, sharp sticks, and snags.
Now I'm going to show you this last clip, and then we're going to close for the night. We will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. You need to be here tomorrow night to listen to exactly what's going to happen or what did happen. There's the last clip.
Physically, your feelings and senses will tell you where the predator is located. If the predator is behind you, you will feel the hair on the back of the neck. If the predator is on the right or left, goose pimples, shivers, or wind will be on.
Okay, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. We're going to have some more check-ins, more updates for you. It's going to be one of those interviews that you really need to listen to. We've got more lined up for you. But some of these you need to listen to. And actually, you can have your family listen to, especially if they don't believe certain things. Bigfoots are real. We'll see you here back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone, with more updates and more interviews, personal experience, people who know, and the very most important things you can do to make it now. Thank you and have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone.